I did, Judge. It's a health awareness from the health department. It'll do. It makes stop writing halfway through the meeting. We don't have a problem with that, so.
I don't think you're in the right spot back here.
Yeah, well, tickets.
Many, like, donate myself.
Okay.
I have on the website, try to get tickets, didn't have a place to buy tickets, so I text her to see.
Charles called me and said he got the rest of his money over the weekend. So,
Heard a lot of yell about before it's going.
and I still said 2 names on the wall.
Huh? You already know.
But he said he did his research, so it's a trauma.
You ain't not having it,
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
You call the meeting to order, everyone, please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Announce your cell phones, please. Just settle, roll call.
Mayor Plummer,
Here.
Commissioner Brooks.
Here.
Commissioner Fields,
Here,
Commissioner Gray.
Here.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Here.
We have a quorum and ready for the transaction of business.
Thank you, ma'am. Matt, you ready?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Item 4A on your agenda is approval of the minutes for the special meeting of November 12th, 2025. So we have a motion by Commissioner Brooks. We have a second. Second by the mayor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4B on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the special meeting, Bourbon County Court joint meeting, minutes of October the 23rd, 2025. We have a motion.
so move.
Motion by Commissioner Fields. Second.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Galbraith. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 5 on your agenda, 5A, second reading, ordinance 2025-28, ordinance enacting and adopting the supplement to the code of ordinances. Brian, you want to talk a little bit more as the codification?
Sure, this is the one you all are typically used to passing every time the hard copy publication comes out. Just one change from what normally we do, there was the one ordinance that they inadvertently added to the book that was more of an internal. So this will pull that out. But this is the second reading, so it's ready for a motion. Second. Vote.
Roll call, correct?
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner
Second.
Brooks, second by the mayor. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, if you call the roll.
Mayor Plummer,
Yes.
Commissioner Brooks.
Yes.
Commissioner Fields,
Yes,
Commissioner Gray,
Yes.
Commissioner Galbraith.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6 on your agenda, A, municipal order, or excuse me, this is a consent agenda, so I will ask if there any commissioner would like to raise any of those items up for further discussion.
I do think we need to mention the promotion of the fire chief.
It's good, I appreciate it.
Just passing through on the consent.
I agree, Commissioner, go ahead. I kind of pre-warned the chief that we would at least recognize, so I think he's done a great job. And as far as the continuity for the last couple of months, again, it's rolled and so that's a good thing. And we did open post job. We had a period of time, and with everything being equal, I think Josh done a great job and would recommend that
I
he be
agree.
promoted.
I agree. So we will congratulate you and wish you best of luck with your new endeavors.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
thank you, Josh.
That's it.
Just take a picture after the meeting.
Yeah, we'll get a picture with you. So, good luck to you, Josh. Appreciate you.
Sure you'll do a great job for us.
Would anyone else like to raise any of the other items up for discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gray,
Second.
second by Commissioner Brooks. Any discussions? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm so used to calling you Tim.
That's a fun.
All right, item number 7 on your agenda, A, municipal order 25-86. This is part 1. We can have some discussion about this, of our approval of our police policies and standard operating procedures for police department. They're in the process of the accreditation. This has been under review for some time. Again, Brian has worked on this, myself, Captain Topine, as well as other staff in the police department. So, Brian, do you want to add anything further to? how the
Sure, I
process
can,
is?
yeah, and I know Scott and Adam and others have put in hours and hours and hours of work, so that makes all of our job a lot easier, so we thank them for that. A lot of these are model policies that come from Kentucky League of Cities, from DOCJT, from Chiefs of Police Association. I think those are the 3 major sources. If I got it right, Scott? Yeah. Some don't change much at all, but it's a requirement that they be looked at just to make sure that no changes are needed. I don't think any in this batch. We're trying to piece these up because no one wanted to try to read 90 all at once. They've been writing 90 all at once, so credit to them for that. So some of these are new. The body worn cameras is a new policy here in this batch. We want to go ahead and include that in the first phase. So some of these are going to be in investigation, some are going to be in patrol. So you could probably speak to this better than I could. So there's going to be different categories. So this is the first round, and we'll certainly have the next phase on at the next meeting. And hopefully the goal is to get all this done before they start the accreditation procedure. So with that, Scott, Adam, anything you want me to add?
I don't have anything else, there's just questions we can answer.
Is there a deadline? Are you up against a deadline or anything
We are for accreditation.
for accreditation?
Yeah,
Okay.
In the end of January.
So the thought was we have, as Brian said,
Okay.
these in parts or in phases, and hopefully you all receive the link and you can go on there and review those at your leisure, and then we'll have the next subsequent meeting.
You should know it's a very tough process. We've been accredited. Is it still 5-year periods of time, or has it changed?
We do 4 years.
4 years now? So we got that in early 2000s. As far as I know, we've been accredited the whole time since. You know, it's a tough thing. And we should be proud of our department for being able to maintain that, because it is a lot of work. And it really refers to professional standards of law enforcement across the country. You know, not all departments have this, and that's for a reason. It's a lot of work and it's tough. So proud of our department and happy to hear you guys are well on your way to, sounds like a reaccreditation.
You need a vote on that? Okay. That being said, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gray, with a second.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Galbraith. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 7B on your agenda, October financials. Brad?
Thank you. All right, on page 41 starts the cash balances for the general fund. At the end of October, for operating standpoint, we had 8.7 million, or just under 8.8 million in operating funds. Still had 2.6 million in CDs, and then restricted funds not changed very much at 209. So total cash balances at the end of October are 11,644,000. Year-to-date interest income is 102,636. Just do some quick comparisons on the overall total balance. Year over year, we're up just roughly about 1.2 million in cash balances and about 400,000 higher than where we were at the end of our September. And then moving on to the next page, as far as on the utility fund cash balances, from an operating standpoint, at the end of October, we're at 1.2 million, just right at 1.2 million operating funds, 268,000 in CDs, and then our basically kind of our restricted funds were at 4,331,000. Most of that you can see there is at 2.5 million still in the bond funds, unspent bond fund proceeds. That is kind of dedicated for some future projects coming up. And then total cash balances were at 5,786,000 at the end of October. Year over year, obviously we've done some draws on those bond proceeds, but we are down from the 6.1 million or 6.2 million that we had last year. However, we are up about 300,000 for where we were at the end of October or September, and 34,000 in interest income. You are going to start probably seeing interest income, when we're looking at next year or comparing to prior years, start coming down just because of the overall interest rates. I'll go over that here on the CD schedule here. But then on page 43, we got the 5-year trailing 12-month revenues for the general fund. One thing I do want to just kind of point out on this, so far this year, when we're just looking at the trailing 12 months, we are down about 100,000 compared to the prior year. Year to date, we are staying pretty well comparable, but you can see in October, we had about a $200,000 dip in cash collections. Sometimes that is kind of related to just the timing of just when things are coming in. I think November, we're seeing a better rebound on those numbers. So I kind of hope when we do the November financials, we'll be back into a positive for the current year column and everything. And then let's see here, going down through the next couple pages, on page 49, we have the budget to actual report. Total revenues within the general fund that are on page 50 are at 4,498,000. For the same time last year, we're at 4,553,000. So roughly about a $60,000 decrease year over year. Like I said, I think we'll make that up in November. Expenditures are at 3,956,000. There's probably about 150,000 in outstanding purchase orders in that 3 million. So at the end of October, we do have revenues exceed our expenditures by 542,000. Last year, you can see we're had a little slightly higher number at 647,000 on revenues and exceeding expenditures. And then on the next page for the utility fund, you can see our revenues are at 5,252,000. Last year's number are higher because of the construction of the transfer facility and everything. So we had a lot more grant monies coming in that are reflected in that 7 million. But if we back those out, we are actually head year to date as far as revenues and billings go. And then on total expenditures, we're at 4,792,000. There's probably about 1.3 million in outstanding purchase orders at this point in time. So still looking good as far as an expenditure standpoint on the utility side. And that leaves us with revenues exceeding our expenses by 460,000. Last year, obviously, you can kind of see that number is a little bit higher just because of the timing on payments as far as when grant money was coming in and then the payments. Let's see here. I did send you guys some graphs there yesterday. I think they ended up a little bit behind all the other revenue and expense reports there. So down on page 78, have some general fund graphs there. That just, number one, the first one just kind of shows each one of the departments as far as budget to actual. Everybody right now is still pretty in line with where we're anticipating as far as the first 4 months go. Page 79, as far as the graph goes, just kind of gives you a breakdown of those expenses by department. Obviously, both police and fire department are the main drivers of our expenses and along those lines. So, and then on page 80 for the general fund, just to kind of break those expenses down a little bit further as far as by categories, you can see that our salaries and wages through the end of October are $1,529,000. Retirement, let's see here, was right around $486,000. So two of our, two main expenditures right there. Salaries and retirement are obviously the big drivers of expenses. And then on page 81, our utility fund budgets, once again, everybody's pretty much in line. From water treatment plant and field operations, obviously we have some large construction projects that are budgeted. Timing on those kind of obviously is a big issue as far as getting those started. So that's why we're seeing a bigger chart there on the actual budgeted expenditures. Then on page 82, we've got the breakdown by department there. Once again, electric department with our purchases from KYMEA. Make that the largest one at right around $1,197,000, just under $1.2 million. And then the water plant with the construction that's going on with the upgrades there, obviously is driving that those expenditures as well too. And then on page 83, once again, just kind of break that down by category. You can see once again that salaries and wages not necessarily are the biggest drivers here, but is one of the big ones at $753,616. And then the electric purchase power there at $1,074,000 is our next big expenditure along those lines. So just kind of give you guys a little bit more breakdown and kind of a graph size as far as where a lot of the expenditures are occurring. So those are the financials for October.
Thank you, Brad. Any questions?
Last year, Brad, you said that we had a number of grants that had come in because of the transfer station and things like that. Are any of our departments applying for grants now? Do you know?
We have of course, the EPA grant that we're going to apply for the cleanup with the county. Actually, county was in charge of that. Marissa and I talked a little bit about maybe COPS grants. There's some other infrastructure opportunities. Marissa, do you?
So we were awarded $30,000 last month, which is not a lot. But where I have been with utility billing and helping in that department, there haven't really been a focus on grant applications right now. And that was paired with the federal government shutting down. The opportunities wasn't there. But like Matt said, just 2 or 3 days ago, they did start releasing notice of fundings again. And so I expect to look for further opportunities as they come.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, with the shutdown and all that, we'll hopefully see that come back. Of course, Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, there's been meetings at the ads for rankings for our water and sewer projects. There's been some transportation related projects, and we've met with Kelly Baker and some folks at the state to try to strategically look at where our transportation needs are in the community. So we get those rankings together and continue to go to meetings, and again, the opportunities that's going to come up, we're going to try to go after it. So any other questions or things you want to point out for the
Looking through the
financials?
claims, and I saw an interesting one. I was just curious about Carrot Top.
Used to be the flag company we buy flags from.
Okay. I thought it was just an odd business name.
Yeah, that's.
Now, flags.
Yeah, that was the only question I had on claims.
Anything else? There's no other questions or comments. I would entertain a motion to approve the October financials.
Still do.
Motion by the mayor, second by Commissioner Galbraith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. All right, moving right along. Item number 8 on the agenda, any reports from outside agencies? I know we have Allison and Betty Ann. Who wants to go first? Is Michelle here?
Age before people.
She's on.
Better in the office.
Welcome.
Thank you. If you all will look before the meeting, I passed out our new Bourbon County as part of the Bluegrass area region. And, these are our brochures for that area. There's 16 of us in this, area. Now, we, with, ARPA funding, we did a big campaign called Joyride. And it was, if you'll look at the brochure, you'll see it's through all the back roads. It talks about going through the back roads of all the small towns in the county. And statewide, our campaign won like 4 or 5 different awards for the total campaign. So I did put some out front. I have plenty more of those. They also are distributed all the way across the state. If you look at the back of one of them, of course, Secretariat mural is featured. And they only allowed us like 2 lines. So I tried to put as many things on there as I could in 2 lines for Bourbon County. Also, I attended the Bluegrass Region meeting last week, and it was at the Oldenburg Hotel, the new hotel in Versailles. So I took Debbie Pointer with me, and she talked about our hotel. So I hope to, well, I will host the region at our hotel next spring sometime. Holiday Hop was this past weekend, and the merchants reported 17 to 18% increase in sales from last year. I feel like it could be because Allison took her daughters out and they put flyers on all the cars at the vendor fair at Bourbon County to try to draw people back downtown. So this coming up Saturday is Small Business Saturday. And I think a couple of the merchants are doing something on Friday for Black Friday. So head downtown and shop small. Let's see. We do have 2 Christmas commercials showing, one on LEX. And the one that's on LEX, she called me yesterday. We were able to buy 1 spot in the Macy's Thanksgiving Christmas parade. So be watching for our 1 commercial in the Macy's Day Parade. Now, it's gonna be on other, but she had 2 spots left, so Quillen bought 1 and I bought the other. Because we got a good deal, $200. Let's see, and the WTBQ spot is Holiday Shop Local. Terry came, and instead of doing just one boring interview, we decided to do a compilation of a lot of the merchants, and the fact, we gave a fun fact, and that's the fact that Santa shops in Paris. So we went to the different merchants, and they all told what Santa likes and gets at their shop. Like, of course he gets his boots at Bourbon. I have purchased, which should be here today, some red bows to go on the downtown wreaths to try to help make them perkier. And I talked to Mike, he's fixing the lighting in it. But those poles look really good. They did a good job on that. But, we're trying to make those wreaths last another year. Mike, how long have we had them? Since 99 or something? So, yeah.
Wow.
They're really, really, really old.
They're getting new light.
Yeah, he's doing some new lights because I've bought thousands of light bulbs to put in them and they quit. And so Mike's got the guys fixing them all up. So hopefully by tomorrow or the end of the week, they'll look better. I think that's it.
Thank you,
Any questions? Great job.
Thanks again. Allison.
Morning.
Morning.
So I'm gonna focus on what I've got coming up, because there's quite a bit. So I'm not really gonna focus on what I've been doing, which is basically Christmas parade, if you're wondering. But starting with next Friday, which is December 5th, we'll have our December Coffee and Commerce. We've got the presenting host is Bluegrass Roofing, which is one of our chamber members, and that'll be at 9 a.m. at Happy People Coffee downtown. So we'd love to have you if you're available. Then the next day is our Christmas parade. So just a reminder, the theme this year is Holiday Horses, History, and Hospitality. The parade lineup will begin at 3 p.m. at the high school, at Bourbon County High School. I've got about 58 participants so far, and the deadline to sign up is next Monday, the 1st, which we're actually doing really well on participants. That's a pretty nice number. So super pleased with that. Of course, the Grand Marshal this year, if you've not heard or seen the news on that, it is Jamie Coram, the equine artist responsible for 3 of the murals downtown. We will release from the high school at 5:30 p.m. I've got Sheriff Asbury confirmed to lead, and then we'll just need to work on City of Paris to be alongside him leading the parade. Immediately following the parade will be the tree lighting ceremony down in the courthouse square. We're going to have live performances by the community choir, and then Darnaby Kearns is going to do some stuff on the trumpet. So excited to have them there. Of course, as history will have it, we'll have a reading of The Night Before Christmas by Judge Williams. Mayor Plummer has confirmed to count down the lighting of the Christmas tree. Send Cut Send, who is the sponsor of this year's Christmas tree, so they've sponsored all new lights, ornaments, which I'll talk about in a second, a new star that will light up for the top of the tree. So they, alongside with Santa, will do the actual lighting itself. So we'll have a Clark Griswold moment in Courthouse Square. We've got Little Tree Service. They're working on the tree this weekend, adding lights, trimming any branches that need trimmed. They're going to add all the ornaments that we had decorated. So this was precious. Last Friday, youth leadership got together at the community center, which is Paris Community Center below the Presbyterian Church. And we had a community day. So they learned about art opportunities in the community and what the community center is doing and different opportunities there to participate or volunteer. Then we had, Betty and I haven't measured these ornaments, but they're about 20 to 24 inch fabricated flat ornaments. And we basically got together with youth leadership. There were about 36 of them, and they got to design ornaments and decorate them. So we had everything from wreaths on the ornaments to Buddy the Elf pad. We had they did a really great job. So I'm excited to get those on the tree and display those. And then I, of course, invited all the youth leadership kids down for the tree lighting. I'm like, y'all need to, take ownership of this and be proud of the work you've done. So we'll have that. And then, of course, the star that I talked about lit at the top of the tree. The Bourbon County Project Grad Group is going to be doing a hot cocoa bar. That is going to be sponsored by Wendy's, Sweet Home Realty, which is Amy Boone, and Southern Luck. So that'll kind of be a new addition this year. And then we do have a very good possibility of selfies with Santa on the courthouse steps too. So just trying to kind of do some things to get people down there after the parade instead of just going straight home. So this will be a fun year down at the courthouse. Let's see. And then 12/9, December 9th, and then 12/19, December 19th, I'll have Leadership Bourbon County on the 9th. So that is their Healthcare and Human Services Day. And then 12/19 is Youth Leadership, their healthcare day. And they're actually extending out their community service to the 19th. So I distributed all the materials they needed last Friday when we met. They're going to make ornaments for all of the residents at Bourbon Heights. So they'll get to drop those off the Friday before Christmas. So they're really getting involved in the community, and they seem to be having a really great time with it. Today I do have a meeting with, I just wanted to give an update. Awards Gala, we haven't had one since, August of 2024. We have not forgotten about it, but that is something that was pushed back possibly to May of next year. And I do have a meeting with a couple of members from my ambassador committee today, just to kind of start looking at some dates. We may go a little earlier than May. We need to look at some different locations. We really just want to kind of get back down to the heart of why we do the awards, what is the purpose of them, and just really kind of review that process from start to finish. So I'll get you guys updates as we move along with that. The last thing I want to talk about is Level Up Local. So you've probably heard me talk about wanting to do a business series. We do have it launched and ready to go. It is we're going to start out with just a 3-part business series. So it'll start in January. So the first one is January 14th. All of them will be from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the library in the community room, and lunch will be provided. I do have the first month, January. The lunch is sponsored by Amy Boone with Sweet Home Realty. So January 14th, the topic for the day is the Reels Deal, level up your visibility. So it's basically a hands-on workshop where business owners or participants, I should say, bring their own laptop or tablet. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a reel across several different platforms. And the idea is for them to have something that they can physically walk away with at the end of that session and post to their social media. So we'll give them some instructions beforehand, make sure you've got some videos and pictures and that kind of thing. But so we're excited to start off with that one. February 11th will be the second installment, again from 11 to 1 at the library. That one will be titled Building a Budget That Works, Level Up Your Finances. So again, they'll bring their own tablet or laptop. They'll bring numbers that we've given them that we need ahead of time, and then we'll basically build a detailed budget all together. So they'll be able to, really set some financial goals for the year and, just some opportunities to save and invest and that kind of thing. So that'll be February. And then March is the 11th, March 11th, again from 11 to 1. And that one is titled Creating a Newsletter That Connects, Level Up Your Communication. So again, they'll bring their laptop, tablet, we'll give them some details ahead of time, and we are going to create a 1-page newsletter together on a free Canva template. And they'll be able to, highlight different products, services, any events or promotions they have coming up, maybe even do an employee spotlight if that's, if they have a staff. And then again, they'll have something they can physically post when they leave. So just really trying to level up the, no pun intended, the value of a chamber membership. That is actually a free programming for members. So again, a huge value to them. And then if they're a potential member, we'll call them, they're $50 a session, or they can do a bundle for $140. So just a couple of things we're doing to serve our business community. And I think that's all I've got. Do you all have any questions for me? Now you see why I wanted to focus on what's coming up.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
All
y'all.
the dates that you have there on, you're going to send those out, or they're on the?
They're on our website, and I'll start pushing them out. Probably I'm going to try to get through the parade, and then you all will start seeing a lot of Level Up Local.
Okay.
Sorry in advance, but yeah.
Good job.
Kind of
All right.
so,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. I don't see Michelle. Miss Vanessa, do you have anything?
Just a reminder for the Christmas party. I know everybody got an email, right? Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, staff comments? Anything from staff? No, Mike Smith, we're getting ready for the winter season.
Yes, sir, all the trucks are ready, we've got plenty of salt on hand, and we're ready to go whenever we need to be ready, so. That time won't be here, so.
Still getting some leaf calls, right?
We'll finish up this week, is technically the last week of leaf pickup, but now it's not first. To make sure that we've got everything up to leave one more down, so. Then we'll start switching everything over out front for Christmas. The veteran flags and all that stuff for winter, so.
Good deal. All right, I did have a few comments. I'll save those to the end. I will start at the end. Commissioner Galbraith, do you have any?
Don't have anything this
today?
morning, no, sir.
Steve?
No.
No.
Mr. Fields? Mr. Brooks?
Just a quick comment, thank those who attended the Shop of the Hero. I know Josh, our chief, had, Hirsch had some of his folks there, and like Sheriff Asbury had some of his folks there, and like Officer Toadvine did, he was there, and we raised about $1,200 for that program. So I want to thank them for being there and help support that program.
Thank you.
Let's think about a hot topic many years ago, is the water loss. What, how are we doing on the water loss? I mean, anybody?
We're addressing one particular one, that we know of, that's a leak, and we're in the process of that. Yeah, that's something that, you know, Mike Manier, with his transition to GIS, and then, we're gonna be hiring for at least a foreman for field ops. It's something that we discussed, that's on our to-do list to get to, for sure. And, you know, Chad sends those out periodically. And that was something that I had questioned when I, you know, first came on board and saw that first report. So that's concern, and we're doing something to at least address the one that we know of, and there's some others too.
Also, the ongoing work at the water plant is upgrading some pumps and things over there that should help us get a more accurate reading. I see Chad in here, but there's many facets over there going on with valves and pumps and things, and they're, I think this coming week, they're gonna be putting in some of those pumps. So.
Okay.
And that'll increase the accuracy of the water loss report we do.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. I did want to add, the fiscal court, as a follow-up from our joint meeting with the fiscal court, they did vote to add the new park property to the joint ordinance yesterday, I understand, I'm told. And I'm going to follow up with the judge. I think Brian's going to, as well. He and I are going to follow up, and it indicated that would be coming to the city. In what form, I think it's still in question. So I think there was some questions about, you know, what they voted on, but the motion, as I understand, was to add the property to the joint ordinance.
What was the, Commissioner Brooks, when Parks and Rec met, what was recommended, or, you know, we talked about a land lease option, or what did y'all decide on baseball?
Well, at our last meeting, we decided just to add to have baseball there and to add it to, and then we're waiting to see what the judge actually puts on the fiscal court, and then we'll see what goes from there.
Okay.
I mean, but that was suggested at the
It's
Parks and
not
Rec
clear
meeting.
exactly what they voted on and what they approved, so
That's what
when we get
That's
that.
what I'm going to follow up with the judge and see what the,
Devil's in the details.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that he indicated that it would be coming to the city, and so we'll follow up with them, and then.
So we'll have it on our agenda for next month, or when?
That's the plan, yeah. So more follow-up on that. I did want to note that December 1st, we have, we'll be closing at 3. Just let the public know, we're having, we have some updates for our system. Our Windows 10 update, I believe, that's triggered this, so we are going to have to close a little bit early on December the 1st, so let's let the public know that. We do have, we've rolled out our annual citizen survey, so folks can look at that and take that survey on our website, and I think on our Facebook page. Is that right, Marissa?
There's a link to it on the Facebook page. We also have paper copies available here, and I plan to distribute some paper copies for the library and the health department as well.
Awesome. And so that helps in terms of our strategic planning for the year. And I do want to have and host our strategic planning sessions with all the departments in the commission at the end of January. I think you all had that last year, and it was a very valuable tool in terms of helping us plan for our budget for next year. So look forward to that. I just want to just remind folks that, again, as Allison and Betty advised us, get out, enjoy the community and all the events and things going on downtown. There's a lot of things going on. So went into a very wonderful time of the year, and encourage folks to participate and come to Paris. Anything further, Mike? Do you have anything?
Just want to thank you all for the support you gave me, and this is the end of my contract.
You're right.
And I've enjoyed it, and thank you for having the faith in me, and I think we've got a good team in place and can move forward.
Thank you for
Thank you.
stepping up. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I appreciate and echo that, Mike. I consider Mike a mentor and a professional colleague, and known him for a long time, and I appreciate him. And I told him, I said, you're welcome back anytime. I'm gonna be calling on you about it.
We all have your
It's the
phone.
institutional knowledge, so I appreciate
We all-
both.
we all
Thank you
have
for the
to talk
faith. I
about it.
appreciate
Yeah, we got it. Madam Clerk, do you have anything?
Commissioner Fields had asked last meeting for a tax update. I did not oversee the department, but I did pull some numbers for you this morning. There's 1,407 outstanding tax bills to be paid. Compared to last year, we're up 100, so we've had 100 more paid compared to last year. Collection total right now is sitting at 69%. We have outstanding $398,000. 211 are tangible bills, 1,196 are real property tax bills. So we're pretty much a little bit ahead of last year, so we're in a pretty good spot. Tomorrow is the last day to pay to get discount by 4:30 p.m. So we are a little bit ahead of schedule, but things looks good on that side.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Attorney?
Brad, you got anything?
Just to mention a couple things, we did have an investment committee meeting Monday, and we did have some CDs that are maturing over the weekend that we ultimately just decided to let roll back into our savings account. Right now, our savings is paying 3.5%, and then right now, it does not matter what kind of term we're looking at as far as a 3, 6, or 12 month. We just cannot get anything over 3.5. So it was kind of no-brainer just to put everything back into our savings account. Also looked at opening an account with the KLC investment pool, and really what that is just putting some small money into their money market account, which is really guaranteed at $1 per value, and see kind of what rates we can earn with them as well too, as far as what we have with traditional. And then kind of just along with what Stephanie had mentioned on tax collections. This week we transferred like another $1 million into our savings from what's been collected towards the end of October and November. So, kind of, once again, kind of along the lines of we're probably running ahead of where we were last year as far as collections go. So I'm doing pretty good on the cash side.
Thank you.
Unless any further, we do have an executive session. If I could entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So move.
Motion to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810(1)(f) for discussion which might lead to the appointment of an individual employee.
Second.
The motion in a second, Commissioner Galbraith, and second by Commissioner Brooks. Good roll call. All in favor? Motion carries. We'll take about a 5-minute break and
Yeah.
thank you all.
Thanks for coming.
For the investment committee.
Pleasure.
We need to delete the resolutions of that.